Hey there, Nopenguin here. Before we get into the video, I want to give a little background. That's right, this video has lore. Back in 2020, the new Penguin card was just revealed, and I was pogging. When it was first announced, it was called Penguin Heroes. So, I built a deck. A hero deck that summons this card out. It was bad. However, before I could post the video and subject you all to that, Konami changed its name. Now and forever it is called Penguin Brave. So my dream shattered, and I accepted this. That was until the Brave archetype was announced. Not only did it fit the new name for Penguin Brave, the engine was very splashable and worked really well in a Penguin deck. I can do it. I can make the funny video name. But Konami changed its name to the Adventurer archetype. This is Nopenguin. Dream shattered. Heart heavy, bringing you Adventurer Penguin. That aside, here's the list. I'm really happy with how this deck turned out. This version of Penguins is going to be my go-to until further notice. It is a combo heavy deck that can work with or without the Adventurer engine. The Adventurer engine just allows the deck to make its plays much safer than it did so without it. As you probably noticed by now, this is a 44 card deck. Not only that, there are 5 soft garnets and 1 hard garnet. By adding some extra extenders, this has helped make my hands so much more consistent and able to combo, which is why I'm sticking with 44. I have made sure to use all the nutty stuff legal in this format, as I want this deck to become the best Penguin deck possible. With that, let's go into the card by card. Firstly, the Penguin engine, 13 cards in the main deck. I know that some of my Penguin decks have only had a small number of them, but this deck strategy works really well with many of the available Penguins, so I will use them to the absolute fullest. First, we have Great Emperor Penguin, but only at 1. This is mostly because the Adventure engine shuts off normal summon effects. But, like I mentioned before, we don't need to open the engine each game, so we can still do normal Penguin combos in this deck. Triple Penguin Squire, the best Penguin main deck monster for this build. It really helps making hands playable, and while the main combo does use them, you can do alternate combos if you use him to get the combo started. 1. Nopenguin. It's great because it's a mandatory trigger that can chain block. It's bad because it's a mandatory trigger that can fill up your field. It's great at 1 though. Absolutely love getting this card off with Emperor Penguin. 2. Polar Penguin, a level 3 tuner which is very good for this deck. 1 Penguin Ninja and 1 Puny Penguin, needed for the Penguin combos. Link in the description for the combo video for Penguins. If enough people want it, I could even update that video with a modern deck, but the combos in that deck still stand. 1 Penguin Soldier, R. Garnet. Pray that you do not open this. Now for the Adventurer cards. I'm sure you've seen them all by now. 3 Aqua Priestess and 1 Griffin Rider. Gets an Omni Negate on board pre-starting your combos. You're happy to see any of the cards within this engine. It's ridiculously consistent. 3 Deep Sea Diva. Our main combo starts from summoning Halka Fibrax, so she is just a 1-card combo starter in that case. Of course, this does not work under the Adventurer engine restriction, but you don't need to draw that engine to play the deck. 2 Crusadia Arborea and 2 Edhara. They are both tuners and extenders. Help get into the Hulk in dire situations, absolutely great cards. For our hand traps, we have 3 Ash Blossom and 3 Ghost Ogre. These are both level 3 tuners, and you sometimes have to normal summon them to get combos off, but they're good in hand traps or as combo pieces. We also play the 1 Veiler for Selene access code combos. Now, for 4 soft garnets, 001, Scythe, Celestial, and Dasher. You can still do full combos if they're in hand, but it sucks because you have to go -1 on card advantage. You don't want to see them in your hand, but it's not the end of the world if they are. Onto our spells, we have 3 Rite of Armesia and 1 Fateful Adventure. Fateful Adventure is our other soft garnet, though you can start your Brave engine by using the search effect on this card. I'd just rather to get it for free off of Rite. 2 Fusion Destiny, DPE is broke. 1 Called By, and 2 Emergency Teleport. Would have it at 3, but I can't find the space. Great for extending out a level 3 tuner. Is also fine during your opponent's turn. Ghost Ogre's effect can also be activated on the field, so it's another piece of interruption if you summon it off Emergency Teleport. 44 cards in the main deck, let's go into the extra. We have DPE, Barone, Savage Dragon, Dragite, Riser Dragon, Penguin Brave, Cupid Pitch, Access Code, Auroradon, Selene, Dagda, 2 Crystron Halka Fibrax, 1 for going first and 1 for going second, Verte Anaconda, and Link Spider. As you can probably tell, this deck gets pretty degenerate, but instead of telling you that, Let's show you. Let's go into the replays. Before we start, our first two replays are going up against opponents with no real interruption, but I wanted to use them to show you how the deck works with or without the adventure engine. I'll end both of these replays after my turn, as the opponent in each game isn't able to do much before conceding. With that, let's start with replay 1. This replay shows how the deck just needs to be able to access Halka-Fibrax to be able to make a board. From here, we do a standard Auroradon combo with a Penguin twist. Summon Cupid Pitch, lower its level to go into a level 6 Penguin Brave. Chain both Cupid and Penguin Brave's effect, set a soldier, and add Squire. Because Squire is an if you can, you are able to special summon it. From there we just go into Dragite. Not the most impressive field, but you only extended one card in hand, so I think it's pretty good. Our second replay shows off how the Adventure Engine helps the deck. I start by activating Priestess, which they don't ash, but they do ash the Gardens. Priorities. From here we write of Armesia so we can special summon out a token and get Fateful Adventure. Special the Griffin, normal Diva who can't activate her effect, emergency teleport to get a level 3 tuner from the deck to go into Barone. From here it's the same combo you just saw, but now it's protected under an Omni Negate. Though the opponent did mistime their Ash, we still would have been able to get into the first combo if they stopped the Priestess. So either way we had a field. Our third replay is up against Earth Machine. I activate Penguin Gardens to add the best card in the deck, me, before going into Adhara. Normal summon Diva, which goes through, then we special summon Hulk. They infib the Hulk, but luckily I summon Adhara preemptively. I summon the Arborea from hand and go into Dagda. I activate the Fusion Destiny in the hand, set Scythe, and summon DPE. On the opponent's turn, I destroy my Scythe, but Earth Machine is a deck that can play without their extra deck. They Extravagance for 2 and I use Hulk here to go into Riser Dragon. I set the Priestess for next turn, but I could have also sent Penguin Soldier, that way I'd be able to Synchro Summon for a Barone right now. They Urgent Schedule getting themselves a Citadel into rotation. They Normal Summon Gearframe to go into the Dark One to dump another Citadel. From here, they destroy both of my defense position monsters. I really should have summoned them in attack position. They set 4 and end their turn. I draw a Fateful as they torrential the board on the DPE summon. I chain DPE to remove one in the back row, and I hit a strike. DPE and Citadel activate, giving them interruption on board. I activate Priestess, adding Rite of Armesia to hand. I activate Grateful's effect, getting me a Griffin to hand. I try to summon it and eat the other strike. With an empty hand, I activate Celestial in hand to draw 2. Now I can go into access code, but they can activate Citadel at any point to end my combo. With Trap Deck, they now have another way to ruin my plans. I'm able to summon Celine, and after I activate her effect, I figure this is it. But no! They are waiting for the access code, not realizing they cannot respond to its effects. Once they realize their mistake, they concede. Our final replay is up against Thunder Dragon. I get to go first, so I activate Rite of Armesia to get the token and Fateful. I use Fateful to get Griffin, discarding me in the process, Special Griffin, and Normal Summon Arborea. I go into Barone, Link Summon Dagda, and hit Fusion Destiny. Special DPE and end turn. During the draw phase, I shotgun DPE to get Scythe out. However, they have Droplets, so they can negate Scythe and my Barone. Now my board is empty and ready to abuse. They summon Solar, sending Dragon Roar. They use Dragon Hulk in hand to special summon the Dragon Roar, get a token, and link into their own Dagda. Uh-oh, I think I know what comes next. They summon Verte Anaconda, add a Thunder Dragon Fusion from the Dragon Dark. They activate Thunder Dragon Fusion and Dagda, getting a Scythe and summoning Titan. Verte does the thing, and DPE comes out. From here, they can easily beat over my board. Dagda does summon back the Scythe from grave, and now I really need the top deck. I draw Deep Sea Diva, and I choose to use Dash's effect as I want to draw from Celestial. They chain their DPE, removing my Fateful and summoning their own Scythe. Now I have to survive without an extra. Luckily, I can get back my DPA from last turn, and then draw 2 from Celestial. I attack over Verte and use DPE's effect, removing the Diva from my board. I end my turn knowing their DPA will be back. They activate Thunder Dragon to proc Titan's effect. I choose not to chain DPE because I totally plan to be an ignore chain here. They continue to build their board, but in doing so, accidentally throw away Lethal. IP is unable to get over Scythe, so they have to waste their DPE's attack. I now have a chance. It's my turn, and my final draw is... Armesia! This is great! I activate Armesia, and they chain DPE. I chain Ogre and my own DPE, so I can clear the board and make them waste some of their banished fuel for Titan. On resolution, I summon the token, then normal summon Ogre. From here, I go into Hulk to build the Selene line, because Titan can only prevent card effects destruction, not battle. I attack over Titan and ready myself for some hot DPE on DPE action. They summon themselves back as they draw their droplets. They banish Fusion Engrave to get a copy of Dragon Roar so they can discard it to get the other copy of Fusion Engrave. God damn it. They summon Titan back and use the other Thunder Dragon in hand to force my DPE's activation. Unfortunately, I can only destroy their DPE and that leaves my board completely empty. From here, all they have to do is enter battle and attack for game. Well, despite that last duel, I think the deck did pretty well here. I have, however, noticed a few issues with the deck. Before that, I want to highlight the deck's good points. Number 1, it's consistent. Over 90% of the test hands are able to access one of the many combo lines in the deck, even when drawing into one or multiple of the combo pieces. The extenders also make it somewhat resistant to hand traps. Number 2, it can make some impressive end boards, with multiple kinds of interruption. Negates from Barone, Borreload, and Dragite, card destruction from DPE, domain lock from Scythe, not to mention the bounce effect of Penguin Soldier, which is a tricky bit of interaction that some decks have trouble answering, especially if Nopenguin is active. Now, the bad stuff. 1, it's a bit of an all-in deck. The DPE engine does help this, as an extra draw 2 really helps get the deck back into things. But as a whole, the deck seems to run out of gas a lot faster than I'd like. Unlike the Sword Soul, Tenyi, or Phantom Knight engines, Penguin cards don't generate extra advantage in the graveyard. As a result, if you can't kill with Access Code turn 3, you pretty much lose the game at that point. Number 2, it has a very hard time going second. The replays I had shown had me all going first. That is because the deck has issues playing into established boards. Now I could add more answers like Droplets, Dark Ruler, etc., but in testing this approach had made the hands a lot more cloggy and less consistent. I'm looking into fixing these issues in the future, but for now, I am happy with where the deck is. And that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. As this is a Penguin deck, I want it to be a bit more open and thorough when it comes to the theory behind my deck building. I hope it didn't feel like it dragged on too much. However, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. This is Nopenguin, Penguin Connoisseur, signing out.